If you're looking for newer construction homes here in the center of Atlanta that is near entertainment, the BeltLine, and trendy restaurants, well, one neighborhood you might want to consider is Blandtown. And yeah, with a name like Blandtown, you'd expect this area to be a little bit boring, but it is far from that. So stick around. I'm going to show you all over this neighborhood and tell you what there is to do here, what kind of homes you're going to find. So let's go. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things living here in the Atlanta area. If you need help with your home search, just reach out to me. Do not be shy. My contact information is down below. But you guys, I can't wait to talk to you about Blandtown. Now, I've made a video of Blandtown in the past, but it's been a couple of years and I just had a couple of people of you reaching out saying, hey, what updates have there been? So I figured, you know what, it's about time to give you a little bit of an update of this neighborhood. And the most recent update here is that some of the BeltLine is finished and through this neighborhood, so that's super exciting. So I will show you all of that and more, but first let me put up Blandtown on a map so you can see where this neighborhood is at. It's just a small little neighborhood about 2.5 miles west of the Midtown area. It's kind of bordered by Marietta Boulevard, and then you got train tracks to the north of this neighborhood. Getting around town, Midtown, you're super close. You're just about 10 minutes away. Buckhead, you're about 25 minutes. The airport, again, about 25 minutes. And hey, if you are going over to Georgia Tech, you're about a 9-minute drive away, just about 2 miles. So this is definitely an area to seek out if you want to live close to the Georgia Tech area. Now, I will admit, Blandtown is not going to be for everybody. This is used to be a very industrial, warehouse heavy area, and you're still going to see some of that here in this neighborhood, but they have infilled a lot of these areas with newer construction townhomes, condos, single family homes, and a lot of apartment complexes as well. But there's a lot of fun things to do in the Blandtown area, so I want to point those out along the way. But I'm starting out here kind of on the northern end of the Blandtown area just by Topgolf. So that is what is going on right behind me. If you've never done Topgolf, a lot of fun. You do not have to be a golf expert to play it. And just right up the way, you go up to the top of this road. This is Ellsworth Boulevard. Hang a left, and then you are going to hit the Chattahoochee Food Works. I'm not going to hit it today just because I have shown it several times in my Upper West Side videos. You can go check that out on my channel if you want to see more of it. But I just want to point it out because it is at the northern end of this neighborhood. You can go there, grab something to eat. They have a lot of events that go on. So that's just one other fun thing that you can access and even walk to from Blandtown. And in fact, there is a trail that has opened up that connects Blandtown, like in the neighborhood area where all the homes are, over to the Chattahoochee Food Works, and it's called the Woodall Trail. And so you can take that little trail all the way up. It drops you off right in front of the Chattahoochee Food Works. Or you can just walk along Ellsworth Boulevard like I am doing, but I will say that Woodall Trail, it's definitely a lot more relaxing and scenic than this busy road on Ellsworth Boulevard. But on the other side of Ellsworth Boulevard, you're just going to find a lot of textile shops, antique shops, warehouses. So not the most exciting kind of thing, but you just got to keep that in mind when you are looking at homes here in the Blandtown area. It's going to be a mix. You're not going to get the white picket fence and the big grassy green lawn. That is just not what Blandtown is. Okay, so I want to start walking south on Ellsworth Boulevard. I'm going to hit a couple of things, and then I will show you the BeltLine, which just opened like literally a couple of weeks ago. So let's go. So I just passed West Side Market, which is a fun place to go find some interior design treasures, and then Star Provisions right here. Excellent place to go get coffee, breakfast, a sandwich, that kind of thing. And I'm coming up on where that Woodall Trail, it kind of skirts right behind the Star Provisions area. So right here is where the trail comes out, and then we are going to walk up this trail and it's going to merge into the Atlanta BeltLine. But first, I've got one townhome complex to show you. This one's on a little bit of an older side, but it has kind of had a resurgence because I feel like back in the early 2000s, this townhome complex was out by its lonesome, and now it's kind of in the middle of everything here in kind of the West Midtown, Upper West Midtown area. And by the way, most people don't even know that this area that I'm in is called Blandtown. They just call it West Midtown. So there you go. Let me walk up here and talk about this complex called M West. The first development I want to point out here in Blandtown is M West. So this is right off of Ellsworth Boulevard, and on the other side would be Marietta Boulevard. This is a rather big complex of 183 units. These are townhomes. They were built in 2 phases in 2005 and 2007, and you can get a townhome here, a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, anything from the low 400s to the mid 500K range, and the HOA is going to be about $350 a month. So this is a good value if you are, if you're shopping around for different sizable townhome units. This is one to definitely consider. You can get anything from 1,500 up to 2,000 square feet, and it has a little community area with a gym, and they just redid all of the gym equipment, so that's all new. It has a pretty decent pool as well. Nice community. There's even a little dog park, and I actually got locked in it. Thank goodness there was a lady that came and rescued me from there. But yeah, this is a great complex, again, right next to the Woodall Trail and the BeltLine, so you can really walk to a lot of things, as you'll see from this point on. I helped a guy actually buy a townhome unit in here. It wasn't even on his radar. He really wanted the loft feel in like the Old Fourth Ward area, but man, the price you have to pay for something in the Old Fourth Ward area and the space you get, it doesn't compare to what you can get here in these townhomes. Now, some of these townhomes can feel a little bit dated, but some of these are well updated, and you get a backyard patio and a deck area and just a lot of great space, huge windows. Now, the color scheme here reminds me of like Nintendo World or something, but they are working the HOA. The plan is for this fall and winter to be repainting all of these to much more of a tasteful color palette. In fact, they're already starting to work on that, but well-run HOA. So if you're looking for something that is in that 400 to 500K price range, definitely check out M West. Okay, so just a few steps away from that M West complex, I have now basically merged from the Woodall Trail onto the Atlanta BeltLine Trail. Now, if I went up this hill, it curves around, it's going to hit Marietta Boulevard and connect with the rest of the BeltLine Trail that is done. It goes right past the West Side Park and goes down south into, basically you can take it all the way down now into the West End area. So if you're wondering about the West Side Park, now I'm not going to go up there today, but I would say you're about 1.2 miles away. It's actually been renamed to the Shirley Clark Franklin Park. Now say that 3 times fast. But this is a huge park. It's Atlanta's largest park now at 280 acres. It opened up in 2021. So a pretty park if you like to get some exercise, running, walking, riding your bike. You can go hit the paths over there. There's a lot of little walking trails there. There is some playground equipment and picnic area, so you can get some great views of the Midtown area as well. But I'm going to keep on heading now down this newly opened BeltLine Trail. Literally, it just opened at the very end of October 2025. It doesn't go for very long, but it's going to take me down to a couple of newer construction complexes that I want to tell you about. So let's go. Now, as I get going, just right here, again, off of Ellsworth Boulevard is the Atlanta Pickleball. And they have, I think, 10 courts. They are all indoor courts. So if you are into pickleball, this is one place you can go, but stay tuned because there is a huge pickleball court coming soon to Blandtown. I'll tell you more about it once I get there. All right, so that is pretty much the newest section of the Beltline that has been completed. It does wind up this hill just a little bit, but then it stops. Eventually, it will kind of wind around the Atlanta water treatment plant, and then it'll connect right over to the Daily, which is a great coffee shop, and Monday Night Brewing, the Grove. That's a cool spot to hang out, watch some games, get some beer. So that will be really exciting, and eventually it will connect over into the north side Beltline Trail. So we're getting there. We're getting this Beltline very close to being fully completed. I'm going to swing right around the corner here and show you one development that still has some new construction available. And if you're wanting a single family home, well, I got you covered. Let's check this out next. So right behind me here is what's called West Town. Now this is the newer phase. There's an older phase, which I'll show you here in a little while, but this is the newer phase, built anywhere from 2019 up to 2025. Here you're gonna find 4 and 5 bedroom single family homes. They live kind of like a townhome because they are all vertical, but you get a lot of square footage, about 3,000 square feet, 4 to 5 bedrooms and a garage. The HOA here is going to be anywhere from $1,000 to $15,000 or $1,500 annually. Again, price ranges here will be about $800 up to $1.3 million if you're buying one of these uber modern ones, which I'll show you here in a second around the corner. But a couple things I want to point out is on the other side of the street, you're going to see these big warehouses. And I believe one of these warehouses is going to be where they have announced that they are going to be developing a huge indoor pickleball court. So if you are into pickleball, this is apparently going to be the country's biggest indoor pickleball court. So very exciting to see what happens there. I don't know, it's kind of a fad. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, if you are looking for some space, newer construction, this West Town area is certainly one to check out. Now there are really no amenities. There's not like a pool or anything like that, but you are right next to the Atlanta BeltLine now, which is nice. And again, you're not going to get a huge yard. It's just going to be a small little sliver of grass. So if you've got dogs, there's a few places for them to do their business, but not a whole lot. So let me walk through here so you can see a little bit of the latest construction, and we'll go from there. So yeah, these homes right here, these more modern ones that you're going to see behind me, these are the ones that are going to be selling for that 1.2, 1.3 range. And honestly, this West Town area, this is about as neighborhood as it gets for the Blandtown area. Really, like I said in the beginning of my video, Blandtown is mainly townhomes, some condos, and some single family homes. And I forgot to tell you what the average price range you're going to expect to pay here in the Blandtown area. For a single family home, you're going to be paying on average $927,000. But again, these are going to get you like on average a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 3,400 square feet. There are no little bungalows or that kind of thing here in this area. For a townhome, you'll be paying on average $516,000. Just remember, most of the townhomes in this area are newer construction. And then for a condo, $469,000 is the average. And again, most condos in here, which I will show you, these are newer construction condos. So there you go. That's a look at the newer phase here in the West Town area. One thing I will say about Blandtown overall is this is probably not the prime area for, having a young family. I would say it's more young professionals, creatives, maybe someone that has a second house. You're not going to have a bunch of playgrounds to take kids to, that kind of thing. So that would be my only take. If you're looking for an area for kids, I don't know if I get that vibe here. But if you do have kids wondering what schools are zoned here, that's East Rivers Elementary, Sutton Middle School, and North Atlanta High School, which are ranked pretty good. So there you go. Let me keep walking and I'll tell you more about what is around here. One thing I forgot to mention about West Town is that just remember, across the street, you're basically going to get a lot of warehouse, commercial space, office space built out of old warehouses. That's kind of the theme here in the Blandtown area. You get these little pockets of community, and then it's scattered in with old warehouses and textile shops and that kind of thing. And also this building right here, Victory Church, they do Sunday service. I'm told they are great tenants, but something to keep note of is that once that service gets out, it's that Sunday traffic you're going to be dealing with. I've seen it myself. The cars just line up and they're all trying to get back onto Huff Road. And Huff Road is a kind of a main artery into the Blandtown area. That road gets very, very congested during certain points of the day. I would say that's one downside of the Blandtown area. There's just a few main roads here in the Blandtown area and they can get very congested. You got to have some patience getting through some of those stoplights. Okay, so right off the Beltline again, right behind me is another newer construction townhome complex. This is called Hayden Westside. These were built anywhere from 2021 to 2024. You can get anything from the low 700s up to the high 800s, anywhere from 2,200 square feet up to 3,000 square feet. These were built by Minerva Homes. They have a rooftop decks, which is really nice. Clean, modern finishes inside. There's no amenities, again, no pool or gym or anything like that. The HOA though is very, very low. It's at $125 a month. And yeah, this fall weather, I will say, the sunlight is just never really hitting very well when I'm making these videos. But another thing I'll point out, just right across the street from this Hayden West Side here is this giant apartment complex. I mentioned it when I did my last video. They were still under construction, but now it is done. This is Novell, and I'm told they're about at 90% capacity. Apartments range here for a studio 1,600, for a 3-bedroom up to 3,300, and it just kind of depends on the size of the unit and location of it. But I took a peek inside in their lobby area. Very, very cool, very, very nice. So if you're looking for an apartment complex right next to the Beltline, this could be an option, but don't be contacting me about apartments. I don't know anything about management and what's good, what's bad. But okay, I'm gonna hike it up this hill. I will say, when it snows here in Atlanta once every 5 years, this would be an incredible hill to sled down, but not so much fun to walk up right now. Okay, you guys, I work out, but man, that is a hill. I need a breather. I'm gonna take a moment. I still have a little bit more hill to go. Okay, so at the top of this hill, I want to tell you about my next development, which is Long Green. Now, this is built by Empire Communities. They have been building townhomes and condos all over the city. This is just another one that they've been working on for the last couple of years now. Still have some work to go. You can see this empty area behind me. They still got to fill this in, but the last time I did a video here, they only had a few buildings done, but now you can see they are working on some here behind me, and it's just going to be a huge complex. There's going to be 176 units total, and this is going to be a combo of townhomes and condo units ranging from 1-bedroom up to 3-bedroom. Price ranges for a 1-bedroom condo, it can be in the low 300s. Now for their biggest 3-bedroom unit, you could be paying in the 600s, the low 600s. But I'd say on average, expect to pay anywhere from that mid 400 to the low 500K price range for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit. And you can get anything from 640 square feet up to 1,853 square feet. But I'd say for your typical 2-2, you're gonna get anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. The finishes are nice. They're, you get the quartz countertops, the trendy finishes, nice tile. You'll get LVP flooring in here. The HOA is very low at $150 to $215 a month. but there's not a lot of amenities. There's just like an outdoor picnic area and a small green space, but you also have the BeltLine just down the hill. So you have that, and also you're about like 0.6 miles away from all of the fun restaurants over in the West Midtown area. Just follow Huff Road, you'll get there, no problem. So there you go, that is the Long Green development for you. And I'm gonna keep ducking back into the neighborhood and show you another part of that West Town development, but it's a little bit of the older section. So let me head back down the hill once again. Okay, I lied. I figured since I'm already over in the vicinity, I might as well point out this development as well. This is a smaller development called Crosby. It was also built by Empire Communities. This was back in 2020, 2021. And here you're gonna find 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom townhome units, ranging from probably like the $475 range up to the low $500K price point. You can get 1-car and 2-car garages. I've actually sold a unit here. Like I said, I'll throw up some pictures so you can kind of see what it looks like. Again, no amenities with this complex, but your HOA is going to be very low at $165 a month. The great thing that I love about this complex is there are no rental restrictions whatsoever, except for it has to be a minimum of a 1-year lease. But if you wanted to rent out your unit, you definitely can. You do not have to wait for a rental permit or anything like that. One thing I forgot to mention about the Long Green is that they do allow rentals, but they do limit the amount of rentals, and you have to buy a rental permit, but it stays with your unit for the life of the unit unless you sell it. And those rental permits cost $10,000, and again, they've limited how many they release, so not everyone can rent out their unit. So if you're going to buy at the Long Green, if there's an option to get a rental permit, I would buy it. That way you always have the ability to rent your unit out if you chose to. Now, right across the street here off of Huff Road is another apartment complex, and right on the corner on this complex also are train tracks. And that is one thing, you know, just West Midtown in general, you're gonna have railroad trains going by, there's active train lines, so you're gonna hear a little bit of that noise. That is just something you have to accept if you live over in the West Midtown area. And again, half a mile away from all the restaurants in West Midtown. I'm not gonna walk over there today, but if you wanna know more about West Midtown in general, just go watch my video tour of the West Midtown area on my channel. But I'm going to head back down and show you that older phase of the West Town complex. Now, as I'm walking back over to that West Town complex, you're gonna notice like I'm kind of on the edge of the Long Green development, and across the street you have a bunch of these just kind of old warehouses, and across the street there was like some kind of Dixie Cup manufacturing plant. I actually don't even know if that's really what it is anymore. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's not going to be cookie cutter, picture perfect here in the Blandtown area. Okay. One thing I always like to talk about is like, where are your grocery stores? So the closest grocery stores here in the Blandtown area, for a Kroger, you're gonna go up Northside Drive, right there on south of I-75. For a Publix, you're gonna need to hop over into the Atlantic Station area. There's also a Target there. And then they just opened up a Lidl over there off of Northside Drive, kind of in the heart of all of the restaurants and shopping there in West Midtown. So there you go, there are your grocery stores. Okay, so right behind me, I am standing behind phase 1 of that West Town development built by Brockville. I think I mentioned that when I talked about phase 2, but these were built back in 2017 to 2019. Again, huge homes. These are like quaint cluster community of homes, not a huge yard. And here you're going to pay anywhere from the low 800,000 up to the low 900,000. But again, if you want fresh or newer, then you need to hop over to that phase 2. But great access right down this street to the BeltLine. And you can see on the other side of me, I'm right next to the Hayden West Side townhome complex. But okay, I am going to get on Huff Road and make my way west. I've got a few more fun things to show you and another newerish townhome complex with a pool. So stay tuned. As I'm hiking up Huff Road, you're gonna see another big apartment complex is going up right behind me. So probably in another few years, if I do this video again, you're gonna see a giant apartment complex there. And then a few hidden gems along the road. I mean, there's a lot of commercial buildings as you're driving down Huff Road, not the most sightliest to be honest with you, but there's some hidden gems. Like there is Super Jenny. If you like sandwiches and soup, you need to go and check out Super Jenny. There's also a kickboxing place. And up the way is a little sweet coffee shop called Coffee Man. And I'm gonna hike it up this hill a little bit more. And there's a few other places to go grab a margarita and some tacos or just a chill, lax pub. So let me keep on going. Okay, so I just round the corner off of Huff Road and I'm back on Ellsworth Boulevard Drive. So I've basically made a big circle around Blandtown. It's really not that huge of a neighborhood, and I've pretty much covered pretty much every little development that is in this neighborhood. And I have one last one to show you. It is just around the corner here, down this hill a little ways past the Wheelan, which is a cool chill pub to hang out at. And there's these Apex apartments. And then right past that is my last townhome complex. Let me get there, I'll tell you more about it. My last stop is over here at Chelsea West Side. Now these were built in phases. In fact, the last time I did my Blandtown video, they were still building some, but now they are all done. Some were built in 2013, some were in 2018 and the 2023 range. But these are 2 and 3 bedroom townhomes. They range anywhere from the low 600s up to the low 800s. They've got modern finishes and they all have rooftops, which is very nice. It's a community of 92 units. The HOA is $248 a month. And this one does have a pool and like a little clubhouse area. So this is right off of Ellsworth Boulevard. Again, easy walk up to the Chattahoochee Food Works and the BeltLine, which is just a half a block away. So there you go. Now let me get out of this complex and I will wrap up with my pros and cons of Blandtown. Okay, well I was gonna walk out of this complex, but they've got landscapers trimming bushes. It's making a lot of noise, so I'm gonna just stay here and go over my pros and cons list. So on my pros side of living in the Blandtown area, for one, it is close to many amenities like the Chattahoochee Food Works, the BeltLine. You're close to West Midtown restaurants and the BeltLine. You also have a newer construction to choose from. Unlike other areas of town, this one has primarily newer construction. And also the location, it just has close access to I-75. You're close to the Midtown area. You're close to the downtown Mercedes-Benz Stadium area. But on my con side, I would say it is going to have an industrial feel. Some people don't mind that, some people do. That's why I kind of feel like it's a little, maybe a younger single crowd that lives condos here, not as many families, just because of the industrial feel. You're not going to get as much green, grassy kind of yard space. It's also, like I said, less family centric. Think young professionals, that kind of thing. And finally, on my con side, I would say there is going to be some traffic congestion. Huff Road, like I said, can get very backed up, and Ellsworth Boulevard is a very busy road as well. But there you go. That's my pros and cons of Blandtown. And with that, you guys, that wraps up my tour of the Blandtown area. What did you think? Is it for you? Yes, no? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. And by the way, if you're thinking about moving here, I know these videos can be helpful for you, but the fastest thing to do is just reach out to me. My contact information, as I mentioned, is down in that comment section, or you can find it all over my channel. Would love to hear from you. Do not be shy to reach out. But you guys, this was a lovely fall day. I don't know how many more nice fall days I'm going to have here in the Atlanta area before it just turns cold, and it's not much fun vlogging in the cold, I will tell you that much. But hey, I ran into another fellow YouTuber out here today, so that was fun. And yeah, not in a million years would I have thought I would become a YouTuber, but here I am. So anyway, hope this video was helpful for you. If you see me out in the wild, make sure you say hello. I would love to say thank you for watching. But you guys, until next time, I'll see you around the neighborhood.